And as I'm saying it, I want you to go to your accountability groups and even the general group and notify your guys that meeting has started. Precious, can you please stop sharing your screen? I can't share my screen because your screen is currently on. So I was saying that yesterday you learned about storytelling. So within the goal of the lesson or the goal of the class was not to make you become a storyteller from the perspective of a writer. Do you get what I'm trying to say? We are trying to train you from the angle or perspective of the fact that you can use storytelling to sell your business. You can use storytelling to upgrade your career. Do you get? Like, there's a difference between somebody that's coming, maybe somebody that's into selling wig. I didn't say weed or wig, like this thing that just put on their head. I hope you know there's a difference between someone that crafts a story, a good story, on the reasons why you need one in your life, and or as against someone else who just comes and says something like, please, oh, you people should come and buy from me, or this is what I'm doing, or I'm not stealing, this is what I'm doing. Have you seen that kind of people on your status before? Please, oh, if you don't buy from your girl will not eat, oh. Have you seen those kind of people? Or buy from me so that I cannot go out of business. Please, guys, I want to know you are hearing me. So you want to comment in the comment section or um send a reaction you get. So as I speak, good. I can let me know that you are with me. I don't know. Can anybody reach out to Precious? I don't know if she's hearing me. Our screen is still being shared, right? Our screen is still being shared, and I need it to be out. So as I was saying, okay, thank you. So as I was saying, there's a disparity, clear difference between somebody that just comes, and says, please, if you don't buy from me, I'm going to go hungry. Oh. Please don't let your girl go out of market. Oh. What kind of thing is that? How do you attract a king? How do you sell business internationally with that kind of mindset? So that's why we're training you on this course. It's not so that you can become a storyteller and be writing books, because it's not everybody. The truth of the matter is, it's not everybody that is going to write book. Am I correct? Right. So we all know that it's not everybody that's going to write book. So we're not training you. When we say write with ease, we're not coming to say that you have to publish books like ATJ, or you have to be a badass copywriting guy like Gideon Jerry talked to yesterday. No, the concept is that everything in our world right now is woven through writing. That's what we're trying to let you understand. Whether you are applying for scholarship, whether they are going to pick you for that scholarship or not depends on your writing prowess. That's what we're trying to say. If you're applying for an application, your cover letter, your CV, everything depends on writing. So that's why we're training you on this course. It's not so that you can start earning from writing. Of course, there's a place for that. If that's where your call is, if that's you feel that that's a field you want to pick up, that's fine as well. For like me, that's fine. But I'm just trying to debunk the knowledge that this course is for writers. So because it's not, assuming they put on one topic like maybe positioning yourself for global relevance, everybody will be here. Or they say scholarship, even somebody that's not gone to school will be here. Because we just feel funny sometimes and in some of those things that we hear. So I just thought to, throw this introduction so that you have a different perspective that regardless of whatever you are doing, writing cuts across them all. Whether you are selling, whether you are in business, whether you are a professional person, whether you are a student. I hope you know enhancing how you write, knowing how to write better can even inform how you do your exams. I hope you know you can read very well, understand what you read, and write rubbish just because you don't know simple English. And at the end of the day, you will still fail. Have you seen people that come out of exam hall and they'll be like, I know this thing, no, I know this, but they can't express themselves. So writing is one of the things or having a writing skill is one of the things that positions you for global relevance. So I don't want to jump ahead of myself, but I just wanted to throw that's that that I'm not start picking some courses and say this one is not my course. I'm not a writer, so I should not be in this class. If you know people that are supposed to be here, please go ahead and let them know that they ought to be here. Precious, can you put another notification in the general group that people need to join. I'm just inputting persons here, and that's not the best. That is not the best. All right, so I'm going to be sharing my screen right now. Okay, can you see my screen? Okay, guys, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Um, okay. So um let's jump right into the business of the day. Again, my name is Aina Joseph. For those of you that might not know me or probably coming in contact with me for the first time, and I wouldn't really say much about myself because it's been said in the what is it called, the bio. Let's jump into its introduction. So I gave a workbook out and I asked you guys to read the workbook and then read a particular book. I went through your submission yesterday. I did about 10 people submitted yesterday. And as at this evening, I think about as at 6 p.m., that was the last time I checked, 6 p.m. This evening, about 25 persons or thereabout put in their submission. And I went through yesterday, all the 10 people that I saw, I went through, at least I glanced through everybody's inputs. And you guys did wonderfully well. It showed that you actually did the assignment. Okay. And for those that didn't do it, well, I think I don't have what to tell you for now. Maybe eventually um I will have something to say to you. All right, so I just want two people to unmute. Let's start with Who Moved My Cheese, right? By Dr. Spencer. I just need two people to unmute and tell me how was your experience like. I'm not saying you should review the book per se. I just want to know how did you feel reading that book? Like when you were done, what kind of feeling came on you? Just 2% and then we're on. Yes, guys. Nobody. Does that mean nobody on this call read the book?
Okay, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Marcus. After
Okay,
Marcus, Daniel.
I, okay. After going through the book, like I I learned a lot from the book, like about our mentality, how we go about every situation we find ourselves, and how change affect us in positive and in negative. So after like reading the book, I was like analyzing it to myself. So how do I respond to change in my own perspective? When something is changing, how do I tend to play with it? And hopefully, I'm also trying to apply those things I learned from the book to improve myself. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that. Daniel?
Yeah, thank you, sir. Actually, the book was a good read. Like
Mm.
when I started reading the book, I got choked up with work. I have to squeeze myself to finish it. And after finishing the book, I realized the kind of person I am in the book and what I need to do just to change my mindset and to change things around me. Actually, I'm the kind of person that I used to be very scared about change. I'm very afraid about change. But with the book, I've seen some changes and I'm trying to work on it. It's a good answer.
Thank you very much for that comment. So I will not be able to take further comments because of our time, so that we can run. Yeah. But what I wanted to notice is, did you see how the power of a written pen, just a pen and a paper coming together, changed somebody's paradigm? I believe you heard what Daniel just said now. He could see himself and the kind of person he has been before now, through a page of paper. For instance, he has never even met Dr. Spencer before, but a man has been able to so affect his life that just putting paper and pen together, he's now having a rethink about himself. And every one of us, for those of you that didn't go through the book, that book, let me just tell you, that book is one of the books that top organizations um tell their employees to read, or is one of the books that multinationals review right now, because it's a book that speaks to change. It's a book that speaks to personal development and all of those things like that. So if you like, don't read it. It's not by force. Don't read it. It's beyond attendance. It's beyond whether I get the mark or I didn't get the mark. But those of you that read it, you know what I'm talking about. You know the kind of feeling you have. But here's my point. Let me narrow it down to writing now. Okay. So naturally the book transforms you. But when I narrow it down to writing, you could see that the man was so wise and simple at the same time that he was able to convey a very complex message in a very simple way. Yeah, do you agree with me? You can react. Do you agree with me with that? He was able to communicate a very profound message by telling stories. You learned about storytelling yesterday. I'm going back to it again. But that was what he was able to achieve with 30 something pages book. And the book is literally causing a global revolution. Literally, literally. With just 30 something pages book. Now imagine this with me. Imagine for a second that he didn't really tell the story. Of course, you and I know that the message behind the book is change, right? How different people respond to change. However, he can come and just say the little people, this is how they respond to change. The other, what does it categorize the other people against? The other characters.
News.
He said,
The news.
yes. So you can imagine that it just comes and spell out what their roles, or just go into the book just like that and say, him is this kind of person, this one is this kind of person, without crafting a story around it. Chances are that the message will still be powerful. Yes, I agree. But it might not be as powerful, or it might not be able to stick to your heart. Yesterday, I overheard Gideon Jerry telling you that story has a way of, painting a picture within you. So you can see, with just telling a story, a man was able to cause change, to cause radical transformation from within you. If you know you have not read the book, you can still go back to it. I'm not preaching the book, but I'm just trying to let you see from the perspective of a writer how that you can paint a picture using stories, and then it sticks to people and then cause transformation within them. Is that okay? Now, the second assignment I gave you, almost everybody got that one because I think that one was easy. That was the first, really. A group of people trying to protest against rape, and then they said no, exclamation mark, more rape, full stop. And I asked a simple question: is there a problem with their communication? And majority of you said yes, of which I agreed with, because the exclamation mark was not supposed to come after no. Do you agree with me? Because in fact, that exclamation mark coming after no now indicates the fact that they were communicating the exact opposite of what they were trying to communicate. How many of you got it? Like they were trying to say no more rape. Like, we don't want rape anymore. But the way they wrote it, they were supporting rape. No, exclamation mark, more rape. They want more of it. Do you get the logic now? So this is to teach you how powerful, or the power of writing power of right communication. And as simple as that thing is, I know a lot of you might feel that this is too obvious now, anybody can get it. But I'm just trying to let you know that this is the kind of mistake we make in our daily lives. In your CV writing, these are some of the kind of mistakes we make. In your cover letter writing, these are some of the mistakes you make. In your exams in school, these are some of the mistakes you make. And then you wonder why you are scoring low, or you wonder why the employer is not, the HR person is not taking you. You get what I'm trying to say? Or the scholarship, you are not getting the scholarship. These are the kind of little mistake. The only mistake in that sentence was an punctuation mark. There was no spelling error. There was no phrasing error or sentence error. The only error was just the exclamation mark. Can you see that now? This is how powerful your writing skill is. And this is why we're drumming it into your ears. That is not just saying, I want to be a housewife. That's my own. I hope there's nobody here before we cast that spirit out. Some people just be like, my own is housewife. What do I have to do with writing? And then you go and write rubbish for your children's homework. So you see, writing cuts across everything. Now, let's go further. I want to tell you a little story, a short story about myself. Usually, when I'm teaching people on writing, I bring up stories like this. I have different stories like that. When I'm teaching people on book writing, I have a different story I tell them. I tell them how I ventured into writing. And when I'm teaching people, on writing generally, I also have stories that I tell them. So I want to tell you one today. I started off in my, okay, let me backdate a bit. When I was young, quite very young, I mean in primary school, when I mean young, I had a difficulty in reading for a very long time. Now, I know some people that know me might be hearing this for the very first time. Most probably, okay, so Sanik is not here. By the way, I'm supposed to, maybe I will do it at the end of the day. But let me just do it now, perhaps, so I won't forget. Thank you so much, sir. I know you are not here, but he's going to listen to the recording. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Sanik is my mentor, and I really value it. Now, I also know that he probably does not know about the story I'm about to tell you. Now, when I was very young, I have difficulty, like I said, in writing, in reading and writing generally. It took me a long time to be able to figure it out. They trained me, they used different methods. I don't know. The thing was not just even. The thing was not just coming. The thing was not just sticking. Whichever English you want to use, I tried all my best and it wasn't working. Do you know the class I started reading? So I started reading when I was way past primary six. Is that a surprise to you? It might be a surprise to many people, especially some of these children they gave birth to in 2000 or something. It might be a little surprise to you guys. Because if they gave birth to you 2000 or something, that means you didn't even do primary six. What you did was primary five. So to cut the long story short, I finished primary school just doing here and there kind of reading, can't really read, had difficulty in reading. And so it was time to go to secondary school. And they were like, what is it going to do in secondary school if you cannot read? Of course. I believe that will also be your own conclusion, because you are going into a system where you are not independent of yourself, trying to do things on your own. And then somebody that cannot read, how do you want him to cope? So all the long story